Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome to the finale of Far Cry 5. So this is the last video we're doing on Far Cry 5 up until the DLC, which we're going to come back to in a long time from now. But it's the finale because if you missed it, for some reason, we've played through the entire storyline a while ago. We got rid of John first, then Jacob, then Faith, and then we confronted the father. He was actually correct. The world blows up in the end. Pretty crazy, pretty nuts. But now we're doing the New Game Plus, so we did the one from 2 weeks ago, which was seeing what the new Game Plus was all about, like when we got into Fates region, was there anything new? Dutch actually had a couple new lines and like that kind of stuff. And then the second one was, what was the second one? The second one was like, I forgot what the second one was, but then the third one's today, which is like we're gonna be. Oh yeah, I was seeing Joseph's reaction to Faith dying because we never actually got to see it because once you kill the last person, their thing, it's a reaction to all three of them dying, which makes sense. Yeah, we never actually got to see because she was the last one we killed, so we never actually got to see what he had to say about her dying. So that was the second one, and then this is the third one. In my spare time, the very little I had, I got rid of Jacob. He was actually pretty quick, honestly. I mean, even though it's 10,000, like. I did all the outposts, which is 4, and then I did like the main story mission in the Wolves Den, and then I got to basically there. John, I broke the game, so I have a very funny story. I broke the game. There is a way to skip a cutscene for John. I skipped the second one. I think it's the second one because it said I was being hunted or whatever his thing was, and I'm like, nah. So I got in a helicopter and started doing every mission as close to me as possible because what I found out is if you're doing a campaign mission, they don't come after you. Like during the campaign mission. If you're doing a side mission, they will come after you during the entire mission, so it's fruitless. But if you're doing a campaign mission, they don't come after you at all. And funny enough, campaign missions are the ones that give you the most experience. Like if I go this one, it's not going to tell me probably. Actually, it might here if I do here. Where is it? Yeah, see, this gives me 600, 600, 600. Some of them give you 900 as well. Oops, wrong thing. So yeah, some of them give you like 600, 900, but they give you a lot. And the way all of them work is once you get to a certain point, that's when a new cutscene will start. So what happened was I got hunted. I went to here and I did 2 campaign missions here. Got up to like 1,600 or something with that. Then I went over somewhere around here and did another campaign mission. And then I started grabbing the people. Also, it's broken because if I go to here, I have Grace. Where is she? She's right here. I have Grace. I keep Xing out of the map. And you'll notice that she's still talking to me here, which doesn't happen because if I go to the trailer park where you find Sparky, for example, he's not talking to me. And if I go to where you find our brother Herc, he's not talking to me either. And none of them do that because I broke the game. And what happened was I grabbed Grace. I did Grace's mission while I was being hunted, and then I got enough points to reach to the third cutscene, and the game literally had no clue what to do, so it kind of broke. So she's still like active, but she's not. I ended up not receiving the points for the last mission I did. I did get pulled into the third cutscene, but I totally skipped his second cutscene. Wow. So yeah, you can totally break the game. It's very hard because you have to be avoiding people in general because anyone that can shoot at you, after you get to a certain point in time, anyone that shoots you has bliss bullets, which will activate his thing. So once you get to a certain point, it's just like you can't avoid them. But you can get to a point, if you break the game enough, you can get to a point where you just full-on skip a cutscene. You'll eventually get dragged into the third one because at that point, everyone has bliss bullets. They're in choppers trying to murder you. So, like, you're getting hit no matter what. But I find it very funny that I just completely was able to break the game. Because Jacobs you can't avoid no matter what. There's nothing you can do. He has, like, these silent, like, hunters that, like, they can be in the sky. They can be anywhere. Literally, there's no chance you're avoiding them.
Yeah, that, and I think eventually he might put on the music to like make you go crazy and like.
Yeah, well, that only happens with the third one or something, whatever.
Something like that.
But either way, and with Faith, you can skip the first one. Apparently, I did look that up. You can skip the first one if you wanted to, but the only way to do that is because we always destroyed the statue first. But the way you do that is you go to the county jail first, literally do everyone's thing here, and then don't even really go outside unless you're doing a mission, and then you can skip the first one. But hers also, you can just interact with her in the first place. Like, she'll be walking around sometimes, and you can just interact with her story missions. So she's different in that sense. But John, you can just completely skip the second one. I don't know if you can do this method to skip the third one. I don't think so, because the third one's when you get captured. Like, when you get captured in his bunker or whatever. So I think you have to do that one.
Right.
But I totally skipped the second one. It was hilarious.
That's pretty fun.
And like I said, you know it's broken when this is happening. Because she's talking to me, and I have her right here. So, like, I don't know what's going on with that. Also, I found something else out. So, you notice we have $135,000.
Oh, yeah.
We're filthy rich, but I also found out, we said this, I think, in the second one or the first one, like, oh, the only things you have to redo are the missions, the normal missions, like these missions and stuff. That's incorrect. You can actually fully redo the perks. You can go to every prepper stats that's ever existed and do them again, and get more perks on top of what you already have. So, for example... if I go to my sniper, I have 125 max rounds, like in the clip, but then I have 135 rounds. This used to be 25. Just want to point that out. This used to be 25. So I have basically infinite ammo with this. And then if I go onto my special things here, I have 30. I have the possibility to make 39 remote explosives, 39 Molotovs, and 39 proximity mines. Same with this, smoke grenades, 39 baits, which is absolutely insane. 39 of everything. I can make 39 of everything. It's absolutely nuts. And so what I did was, if you go down to the ammo stuff, there's 50 possible upgrades for these things. So for example, the sniper I fully maxed out. 50 out of 50. That's 50. It's 1 perk point per. So if I wanted to buy this, it would cost a perk point to go from 32 to 35. So this costed 50 by itself. And I was currently on 32 out of 50 for the throwables bag, because we don't use like these anymore. We don't use these anymore because we have the space guns now, because it's OP as frick. But yeah, so you get the idea. So yeah, it's absolutely insane that you get to do this again. I also completed the challenges for these guys. I guess not missing one, Sharky here. But I got I think we needed Peaches needed some, Jess Black needed some, Adele I think, and there's one more I think somewhere in there. Yeah, so essentially we have all the perks to ever exist. I think I am missing a couple prepper strategies because I might be missing some. But anyway, so what the plan is for today is we're gonna get the other ending of this game. We are missing an ending, and that's because we chose to I think it was resist or whatever to get him to sort of attack us, and it ended with the world blowing up. I think that's the canon ending because the new one's called New Dawn or something. It's like it very looks post-apocalyptic, so I'm assuming it takes place after that ending. Unless this ending is the same, which that'd be kind of upsetting because we just did everything to get this ending. But I mean, it's not like we did like this entire game again in different like 20 new episodes. That would have been absolutely insane. But yeah, without further ado, let's airdrop to Joseph here. So yeah, also someone asked, I forgot who it was, someone asked what the song is when he plays, when he's like talking about the people that you murdered. It's just like, it's actually an unreleased song. It's not actually a song that Ubisoft prioritized in the OST. Because I was interested in looking at the OST. Now that we played the game and played through pretty much everything, I was very interested to see what the OST was. And there's a song that's very interesting to me. It's called Help Me Faith, and it's very centered around faith. But in the song, if you listen to the lyrics, it's literally about her being attacked by Joseph and being drugged into the cult, and that she regrets her actions. So like, it's like she must not have been lying about the whole thing where he literally kidnapped her practically. Coming in hot, fellas. Also, I have a space gun now, so whatever's coming here. Oh yeah, I forgot it doesn't let me do that. Oh, I broke the game again. He's hacker, banned for hacking. Alright, let's do this. We're gonna watch this cutscene. Because now that we play the game, I'm very curious to see if I'm picking up anything, because he says a lot of stuff. Why are you all shirtless, bro? Put a shirt on.
Put a shirt on, man.
The fifth seal. I saw under the altar the souls of the martyrs, slain because of the word of God. You made martyrs of my family. the same to yours.
Captures everybody that we worked with pretty much.
But God
Oh, I didn't even notice that one girl's back
is
there.
watching us.
She was in the wolf's den. Like, how did he get
He
there?
will judge us on what we choose in this moment.
Yeah, and same with the guy on the far right.
I told you that
Oh, yeah.
we live in a world on the brink. Where every
Which we
sin,
now know is true. That's absolutely insane.
every injustice, where every choice reveals our sins. And where have those sins led us? Where have those sins led you? Your friends have been taken and tortured. And it's your fault. Countless people have been killed, and it is your fault. The world is on fire, and it's your fault. Was it worth it? Was it? When are you gonna realize that every problem cannot be solved with a bullet? When you first came here, I gave you the choice to walk away. You chose not to. In the face of God, I'm making you that offer one last time. You put down your guns, and you take your friends. You leave me my flock. And you go in peace.
Go in peace. You're fucking insane.
You see, we never should have been here in the first place. You know what to do, Rob. Remember. God is watching.
Okay. So first of all, I also started to realize this because Jacob actually does say a couple of things that was interesting that we never really picked up on. So both Jacob and Faith mostly, but Jacob, both of them sort of give hints that you are making choices. And like you're like at the end of the game, it doesn't seem like you have choices outside of this. It doesn't seem like you have choice. Like you have to kill the herald, you have to do that. You can't save any of them. But Faith talks up and down about, oh, you've made your choice. This is the consequence of your actions, and she's right because the choice she's talking about was what he just said. The choice of this game is walking away at the very beginning. Do you choose to resist, which is what not here, but like at the beginning? Do you choose to resist and cuff him, or do you choose to walk away? And I think that's the choice she's talking about. That's the choice that Jacob alludes to. He doesn't really say it outright, but Faith does. She said, this is the consequence of your actions. This is what happens when you do this, whatever. That's what she's talking about. She's not talking about this choice. She's talking about the one at the very beginning of the game, which is awesome that Ubisoft kind of points that at you. Because in 4, like, I think Pagan at the very end tells you, like, oh, you know, if you just had waited or something. He does kind of allude to that there's a secret ending. But in this one, they really slam it in your head that you had a choice at the very beginning. And that choice was the peaceful one. Because, in all fairness, they're right. Countless people have died because we've killed them. Because, like, we killed them indirectly or whatever. His entire family's dead because we killed them. Like, when you walk away, sure, the world might blow up at the end, but, like, at least not... There's way less death that's involved when we walk away. Now, initially, when we played this the first time, we clicked resist because I'm not exactly sure what my reasoning was, but we picked resist. So now we're going to hit walk away, and we're going to see this new ending.
Because we were insisting on killing Joseph, which didn't even happen. He lived at the end.
He's like one of the only people that live at the end, so yeah. And I'm very curious. I'm hoping it's a different ending. I'm hoping it's not just we get nuked anyway. So we're going to walk away.
Alright.
Judge not, and you will not be judged. Condemn not, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, give in.
Don't you dare in there.
Take your friends, my child, and go.
Like, this dude is so chill about this. We killed his entire family, he's letting us go.
Yeah.
Look, let's go.
What?
Oh, he wanted to leave too. You have no authority. Get out of here.
Get in the truck.
I'm not leaving.
Hudson, get in the
You
truck.
lost your fucking mind.
Get in the goddamn truck! Sometimes it's best to just leave well enough alone.
There's that line again. He said that at the very beginning too, when you leave.
Let's go.
That's the motive, that's the story of this game.
Yeah. Sometimes it's best not to.
Yeah.
Oh, he wanted
Fine.
them. That's probably not great, but it's fine.
Now all of them stay.
There's no way he actually just lets us leave, right? Because if he does, he's the most chill villain I've ever seen in my life. We killed his entire
Yeah.
family. He's like, alright, bye.
Like, okay, see ya.
We're totally gonna blow up, right?
Yeah,
There's a
he's
bomb
probably
on the
just
tree.
gonna blow us up.
This is the only, this cage, I mean, this was caged in anyway, but. Oh, can I move? No. Okay. I thought maybe I could look around. No?
That is.
What?
That'd be kind of just eerie that we just drive off.
No, something's had, there's no music. Something's
There
gonna
has
happen.
to.
Nope, never mind.
With all due
Really?
respect, what the fuck? We can't just leave those people.
We're not gonna leave those people. We're going to Missoula. We're gonna get the National Guard and we're gonna bring the hammer down on that goddamn place.
No, no way. I'm not gonna be a part of this. You heard what he said.
You're gonna do exactly as you're told, Pratt.
Oh god.
Why would you put on that? Wait, that shouldn't affect us
The
though.
radio.
What's wrong?
Why does that still affect us?
Because Jacob basically used that song to mess with our minds, so whenever we hear that,
Oh, now it's playing on this.
because whenever we
It
heard
ends
that
there?
song, we went into a trance.
I'm aware of what happened. Thank you. I'm asking why it's still affecting us. Because no, like, the song still played. No, the song still played in Outpost in Jacob's region after he's dead. And no, that doesn't make sense. Oh, this is probably heavily copyrighted. I'm not sure though, because it's been none of the others got copyrighted.
That's just left for interpretation. 'Cause
So-
I think what it's intending is that the Rook. What happened?
It's 2 against 1 though. So like, I highly doubt we killed them. And also, even if we did, we still left. He still legitimately let us leave.
Yeah, he let us
Yeah.
leave.
That's pretty insane. And obviously, if you resist, obviously he's gonna resist back. But like, that's pretty insane that like you kill his whole family and he's just like, yeah, if you want to leave, just leave. Like that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, just gives you the option to leave.
And he was nice about it too. He's not like, all right, get out of here and like punch me in the face or something. He just straight up just was nice about it, just like, all right, bye, see you later. That's insane. Here, I'm
What a game.
gonna skip this because I mean, you can also pause it. This game is this story, at least the story-wise, this game trumps 4. Like, Pagan was really the only character I liked in 4. I didn't like Amita or Sabal just because they kept fighting and they were kind of just annoying. And Pagan's heralds, we really didn't. Or I'm not even call them heralds. What were they? Like lieutenants? His lieutenants weren't really that interesting. Nor was the only really sort of interesting one. She get killed off in like the 3rd mission you have with her.
Yeah, she was like against him and then just ended up killing herself.
Yeah.
That or you kill her. We didn't kill her though.
But then AJ, well, he had glass signals, so we hated him.
Yeah, AJ died many times, but whatever. AJ was interesting because he was actually talking, I guess.
Yeah,
but
he
like,
was more interesting than this main character, but what they made up with that
Well,
was
here's the thing.
everyone else.
no, here's the thing though. If this game had a talking protagonist, I don't think it would have been as good. Because you're putting yourself in the position of Rook or whatever. That's why they let you choose the gender. Because I don't know, I guess you could. No, you couldn't choose it in. No, you couldn't choose it in 4. So that's why they let you choose your gender. That's why they let you choose your clothes because you're personifying Rook. That's the entire point. You're personifying Rook. Whereas 4, it's AJ. You're not trying to put yourself in the position of AJ because you're not him. That's why I feel like this game had a lot more scary stuff with it. Because 4 wasn't scary really at all. Maybe Shangri-La, I guess you can maybe make a point and say that it was scary, but not really. But this one had a lot of scary stuff, like a lot of the... Because you're putting yourself in the position, so and there's... The way this game works is like this stuff exists. These cults type of thing exists. Not to this extent, obviously, but these types of cults do exist in the real world. And so like that's why when you put yourself in this position, you're you're realizing that, oh yeah, this stuff actually happened, and it's like it's real. And that's the sort of the fine line between like real and fiction. Is like once you're in that line, it's kind of hard to blur the lines. Yeah, what he said at the end there, the entire thing, the reason it was quoted is because he quotes the Bible quite often. He puts it in the wrong context, but he's quoting it nonetheless. And so like he just straight up lets us leave, and I feel like that's pretty crazy. I was expecting a bomb to blow us up. I was expecting like a landmine or something. Like no, he just straight up lets us leave, because like that only you thing that he just happened to put that on, which was unfortunate.
Yeah, that was just crazy. That was just coincidence.
He was acting strange, but I think it was just loopy because he got out of the bliss or whatever.
Who, Pratt?
No, the White Horse, because he looks at us creepily and says, "What's wrong?" And it's like, I guess he didn't technically know.
Yeah,
Pratt should have known.
Pratt
should have said something.
Maybe Pratt just like turned off the radio because he was like, oh,
yeah, it's so left up into and also this is not going to be the canon ending. I bet there's no way that it's the canon ending.
No,
so that's left up
be,
into
like,
pure interpretation where it's like, oh, did we try to kill them? The answer is yes, but also they probably would have stopped us. And then did Pratt turn it off? Did he go insane too? Because he also heard it, although he didn't seem to be that affected. So yeah, that one's really left up to interpretation, which is pretty interesting. Like I said, it's very clearly not going to be the canon ending, because like I said, the next one's going to be New Dawn, which is like very clearly it's what's going to happen after the apocalypse has started. That's pretty interesting. I wonder if you play. I wonder if you play as Rook in that one too, because like we survived as well. He just locked us up. So I bet we play as Rook and like, or maybe there's no way you play as Joseph. That's crazy. There's no way that's the case. But it's gonna be like you're playing a survivor after the whole collapse happened, because the world blows up. All right, maybe not the entire world, because I think it's probably just the U.S. that got nuked, but still.
Yeah, because I think the implication, because I found this out too. I found it out way after we finished.
I'm just saying we're continuing.
But apparently, but right before you go to Joseph for his final confrontation, if you go to a car and turn on the radio, you can hear like global conflicts and
yeah, someone there's a lot of the because I agree. I was reading theories too about the sort of the ending we got, like what happened. And a lot of people thought that Joseph had nukes or whatever. I'm like, he's powerful. He's not that powerful, and also he wouldn't blow himself up. That's stupid. It was a sort of otherworldly thing, and I don't know who would have done it. A lot of theory people say that North Korea, because this is taking place in real life. North Korea could have done it. What's another one?
Big power countries, maybe like I don't know if Russia would have made.
Russia, yeah, Russia.
China, I don't know if they would.
China,
those kinds of countries.
I don't think China's stupid enough to do.
No, probably Russia the most.
Russia, it's mainly North Korea. North Korea was the one that I saw most of. Also, where am I? Am I in the compound? No, I'm in the Fates region apparently. Oh yeah, here, yeah, because that's where I teleported. Yeah, so it takes me right before this. Yeah, that makes sense. It's funny this gives you money because I guess you get it in this. No, I don't, because we haven't mentioned. It's funny this gives you money when you end the game.
It's like, oh, and Joseph just like
he pays you afterwards
in the bunker and says, oh yeah, here's your money.
Joseph's a paid actor. Yeah, I mean, I think we've pretty much done this game its justice. I think. Obviously there's side missions, and I'm sure there's some interesting stuff there. I guess we did find Willis. Apparently, that was the thing I didn't really catch up on. I think he's over here. Yeah, right here. We did this in the main game. He was in 4. He was the one that betrayed Ajay. He doesn't betray us in this one, but it was kind of interesting, I guess.
Yeah. Hold on, quick question. When
what?
you were doing this alone, did you blow up the yes sign? Both of them.
Well, it's not going to show here, but probably. Actually, maybe it does not. Where is it? Maybe no. I did blow it up, so maybe it just doesn't show anymore. I thought it just stayed there.
Because there was one on the mountains and there was one on the grounds.
There's one over here by his outpost, yes, but I didn't touch that one because I didn't care. You don't get points for that one, so why did I care? The first thing I did when I got to John's Region was blow up the yes sign.
No.
Similar to how I blew up the statue the first time.
Yeah, it's like the
first
first thing you gotta do. And then Jacob, he doesn't have anything.
Jacob doesn't have a statue or anything. He's kind of stupid.
Yeah, he's kind of boring.
It's very funny because you'll notice Jacob's region, the entire middle, you don't even go into really, unless you, for some reason, want to. You don't go in this, like, you don't have to go over here. The only lit up parts of those are just the story mission parts. That's literally it. John's region is really just the edges. You don't really go. You don't go over here. You don't go over here.
Yeah,
you do go here for a prepper stash. Because this also includes prepper stash. Fates you cover mostly, but it looks like just this weird circle.
For her.
Well, this is also nothing. There's nothing over here. So, like, this makes sense. But in Jacob's region, there's stuff in buildings over here. You just don't go over here.
It's like Michigan, where people only live in a certain portion of it. Then, like, the rest of the top part of it, like, barely anyone lives in.
I don't care. Anyway,
Or I don't know.
So yeah,
Nebraska.
I think we've done this game justice by we got all the endings. We got the secret ending. That was actually the very first thing we got because I could tell that I didn't know for sure, but I was like, oh, they're giving me a prompt, and I bet I can not do anything. Especially after we learned from 4 that sometimes you just have to wait. Sometimes you just have to wait and see what happens. I wonder if New Dawn will be the same. I wonder if that's a trend. Maybe it's a trend because we haven't played 3 yet. We're gonna have to go back in time once we do New Dawn and 6 to see if 3 does it, because we do have access to. We also have Primal as well. So yeah, a lot of good things to come there. But I think New Dawn's obviously gonna be the next thing we do because we want to keep the story going, and we want to keep it up. But yeah, this game was very interesting. And I can't wait to do a review on it. Like a full, like with our review series, like an actual in-depth review. Yeah, as a first impression, or like as an impression or whatever, this one to me trumps 4 in most ways. I think the only thing that annoyed me in this game was the John's trucks thing that like was super aggravating for no reason.
Those things suck.
Like
so
it's because
bad.
you're at the beginning of the game and you don't have really much to do anything with, and so you just get blown up all the time.
Yeah.
That was really the only thing that angered me really.
Everything else was great. Everything else I thought was really
Everything
good.
else was great. Obviously,
Yeah.
there's a lot of side missions. Maybe if I did all the side missions, it would start to get boring. I can see that. But I'm not a person that's like, oh, we need 100% everything. So maybe if you're 100%ing everything and you want this entire map unlocked or like something like that, then I could see it getting tedious. The world was a lot more beautiful.
Yeah, the graphics and music, like top notch.
The music.
Yeah.
The music went hard, and also, like I said, there's music that's not in the game that's part of the OST that also goes crazy. So like, just look up Far Cry 5 OST and like just listen to it. It is awesome, and specifically look up the one called "Help Me Faith." It's a song that plays during outposts. And when I heard it, I'm like, wait, I've heard this before. And I went back to a previous video where we went to one of these outposts over here. I don't know which outpost it was.
Yeah,
we went to an outpost, and they were singing it. It's literally at every outpost that you go to. And that's when I was doing Jacob's John region, I was confirming it just to see if that was true. And sure enough, pretty much every outpost you go to, it's singing that song. And like I said, the song, if you listen to the actual words, it's all about Faith and how she's like, she was kidnapped, she was kind of lured into this kind of position she's in, and she regrets what she's done and like that kind of stuff. It's actually kind of sad, but like it plays in every single outpost, almost everyone. I think there's only one in John's region. I think it was like this one, the rail yard. This was it was John talking to me or whatever. And then Jacob's had all 4 of Jacob's. There was that, and I don't remember Fate's honestly, but it's in her region, so I'm going to assume most of them did. It's actually pretty weird. Yeah, in terms of the actual songs though, the composers and whoever worked on the songs absolutely went crazy. I'm sort of worried about New Dawn just because I have such high expectations for it now.
Yeah, this making us give us like, really high expectations.
But to be fair, it's continuing the story, so I'm imagining it's going to be similar in that regard.
Yeah, because from what I've heard, Far Cry 5 is like top 3. I think it was like number 1 I know was Far Cry 2, and then
what ranking are you looking at? Because Far Cry 2, I've heard everyone hated that one. Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon is the one I've seen always at the top of the list.
Yeah, I heard 3 was also really good.
3 is always at the top of the list, usually associated with Blood Dragon. I've actually watched people theorize about this game, and usually when they're theorizing about it, they give their first thoughts or like what they think about the game. A lot of people didn't like this game. And I found that surprising, but they said they really liked the story, but they didn't like the gameplay, which I find it fine. I mean, it's a shooter, so it's not... I mean, the way I see it, it seemed the same in 4, except I like the weapons better. 4, there's a lot of garbage weapons we didn't even use. I still don't use the bows, because screw that noise. But the snipers were a lot better in this game. We have space weapons, apparently. So I thought it was way better than 4 in every way. The only thing keeping me from hating on 4 was Pagan and AJ, basically. That's really pretty much it. And I guess
like the driving features.
The outposts were good. The outposts were good, except we weren't really good at the game back then, so we kind of failed a lot of. And also, there's too many collectibles. There's way too many collectibles in that game. There was like we would play for hours trying to get all the collectibles just because.
That was so big.
And because it did matter. It did matter. You got like I forgot what you got out of it, but it did matter in the end. And yeah, the map was. I mean, this map is. Yeah, if you drive around, if you drive and fly around, this map's huge as well.
It's pretty big, but like.
But there's no collectibles. The only collectibles, I mean, there is collectibles, but the only collectibles that exist are really just in Jacob's region. There's the vinyl crates. There's magazines you can collect in Jacob's region. I think Faith has bobbleheads or something, but they don't matter. Like you can just find them and be like, oh, that's something cool. And I think you can sell them in shops. That's literally all the collectibles are used for.
The only real collectible, and it's really weird to call it a collectible, that I would say matters are the fish. That's really not.
I'm not
it's not even a
collectible.
collectible.
That's just fishing because they wanted a fishing mode in this game.
Which I think is pretty cool.
Which is cool, but I didn't really use it that much apart from just getting the challenges. So I guess maybe in terms of like the mechanic, it was wasted just because I didn't feel the motive to do it. But
it was a good money making strategy.
It is, but when you have this perk, what is it? No, which one is it? It's the one where you get 2, here it is, where you get 2 things from plants and animals, just go kill bears, and you get 2 things per thing. And you lure them with bait, so if you have, like, with me especially, when I have 39 available bait, you just go kill some deer, get all the bait you can, and then just lure, like, 39 bears, and you have, like, $1 million. So fishing, when you have all this stuff, fishing is not really worth it at that point, because you don't get double from fish. You only get fish from animals, because... fish aren't animals. Well, I mean, they're animals. Well, I don't know what they're qualified, but I know you don't get double of them.
Fish aren't... Wait, what are fish?
I don't know. They're
Fish are
aquatic. Yeah, fish are fish. They're their own.
Food.
They're their own thing.
That's what they are.
But yeah, we'll give our in-depth review when we actually get to it. We gotta start doing those reviews again so we can catch up. But yeah, very good game. Like I said, I am worried I've New Dawn just slightly because this game was so good. This game was amazing. Like we mentioned before, unlike 4, where really just Pagan and AJ were like sort of cool characters. I guess the daughter of Mita was cool, I guess too, but we didn't really see her that often. But yeah, every character you just sort of you start caring about. I mean, caring about whether it be good or bad, right? Because like I hated John's face, like I wanted him dead. But like when you're mad at a character, that means they got to you emotionally, right? That's kind of the point of the games. They want you to get to you. And John got under my skin, so I wanted him gone immediately, right? Jacob was indifferent. I'm not indifferent. I mean, he was kind of horrible too, but I mean, like he was sort of more like blasé about everything. He was definitely more creepy, but he's more blasé about everything. Just kind of like, you know what?
His story's really cool, though.
His story's cool, and I guess that kind of thing. Faith was like the one, like she was clearly lured into this role, because also we've put the pieces together in the second episode that all these notes around saying that they're calling other people Faith or whatever. Like Lana's a name that gets passed around. Selena's a thing that gets passed around a lot. But Faith's actual name, and I did find this out, her name is actually Rachel. This is the current Faith that we just murdered. And that's her name. But you never find a letter, well, you do, I think. But a lot of the letters are like addressed to Lena, addressed to like the Selene person or whatever. But that's because there's been previous Faiths, but because they didn't do a good job, they got murdered. So, of course, you'd be terrified of like, whoa, what's he going to do to me? That's why when you blow up the statue, she's like, you don't know what he'll do to me. And the answer is death. So the answer is death. And then Joseph himself is like one of the most cool villains I've ever seen in any media ever. Especially now that we just saw that you kill his entire family and he just lets you walk away.
Yeah, he just...
For literally, like, what the frick?
Like no other villain on the face of the universe. No sane person on the face of the earth would like let you kill their entire family and then be like, yeah, I'm giving you the option to walk away, leave, and do it in a peaceful manner, mind you.
Yeah,
not like I'm gonna beat you to a pulp first and then you can leave.
Yeah, it's like he was when he heard about it, he was just like, frick, dang it.
Yeah.
Alright then, you can go. And most people say, I'm going to freaking skin you alive, you piece of crap.
Yeah. Yeah, Dutch was like clearly he was in cahoots at some point because he has his own island too, but clearly he didn't like them anymore. So I mean, I guess he's the lesser of the three, but also like I said, the story is absolutely insane because once you start actually digging into some of the stuff you might not have seen over the course of the game, there's actually an art piece that was used for promotional art. It represents all 4 characters as the 4 horsemen. For those that don't know, it's the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. It's like so you have you have death, you have the famine, you have like whatever the 4 horses are. And like John is clearly famine because it's the crop area, and also he's like taking people and taking supplies and all that stuff. Faith is the white horse, whatever the white one is. I don't recall which one that is, but it's whatever that one is. And then
You can look it up.
I don't really feel like it. Jacob is a death, I believe. Yeah, I think he was the death one. He's the whatever the other one is, whatever's left at that point. But it's really cool to sort of understand because, like I said, this game obviously takes like a view of like modern day cults and like modern day Christianity, right? But it's taking it to an extreme that does exist in the real world, but also it's taken to even more extreme. Like you're not going to get nuked, right? At least hopefully not, anyway. But like it obviously takes you to a very extreme. But it's very interesting to see the roots of like all the characters and stuff. All the characters had way better personalities than like Sabal and Amita did. Sabal was just kind of I can't even really remember what he did. Amita was just angry all the time, and Sabal I don't even know enough to remember. So
Pagan was a better person than those two.
Pagan was sarcastic. He was funny. He was kind to AJ. And like all that stuff. We actually ended up letting him live because apparently you can kill him twice in 2 different ways. You can kill him just in the table, and apparently you can pull out a rocket launcher when he's leaving in his helicopter. Like when he's like, "Yeah, I'll give you Corral, but I'm keeping the helicopter." You just blow him up.
You can do that.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. Well, we know that. We knew that because I pulled out a rocket launcher. I just didn't do it.
Yeah, we just didn't do it. That's we should have done.
And when Joe, it's interesting because I almost want to think of this like Undertale and Deltarune, where Undertale was Far Cry 4, where you had a bunch of choices. You had a choice at every turn. There's so many choices in that game. You either chose small size or mid size, or you chose both at some points. And then at the end, you can choose to spare Pagan or kill him or whatever. Far Cry 5 is Ebonium and Deltarune, where your choices don't seem to matter. Because once you start the game, you're going through the rings. You have to kill John. You have to kill Jacob. You have to kill Faith. You have to do all these story missions. You have to kill people to get to Joseph. The only real choice that actually ends up mattering is the endings. It's do you walk away at the very beginning, which I think is the most important choice. It also seems to be the most peaceful choice. Like that's just like the hey, everyone lives ending. Bye guys.
The best ending is the leaving early ending.
Is the walking away ending.
Don't even bother, just leave it.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is really interesting. Instead of like, don't stand up for what's right, and instead it's like, don't even just leave before it gets worse.
Because you inactively make it worse.
You make it worse.
Because you go around, kill people. Obviously, they're shooting at you too, but like you're killing them, and then you get innocents killed because of your actions, like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's just a mountain. It just keeps going.
Because the marshal literally got killed because we intervened. Like that was literally what Faith said. You have intervened. This is what happens.
Eli, he was trying to help out.
Yep.
He was
Eli
trying
died.
to do stuff, and because we intervened, Jacob got a hold of us because we knew where he was, and we got him killed.
Yeah.
I actually did recently watch a video about how Jacob actually isn't psychologically playing warfare against the character Rook. He's playing psychological warfare against you, the player. Because you do that ring around every time. You get so used to it that you're just not even thinking about what you're doing. Now, to be fair, I will say that we didn't have that experience. Like, sure, I wouldn't say I was mindlessly going through it, but at the end when we saw Eli, I stopped myself. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not shooting him, whatever. So, because a lot of people apparently just went up and shot him without thinking it was the mannequin or whatever it was usually.
Yeah, because
but I actually pay attention to video games, so hashtag roast. But no, it's just like was paying attention, so I wasn't like mindlessly going through it. So maybe it's just not easy to psychologically attack or whatever, right? I don't know, but apparently that's the thing that a lot of people did is they just went through it. And once they got to the last one where you kill Eli, they were just mindlessly just shooting everybody.
They just became killing machines, and then just didn't even think about it, just shooting. And
one
then
thing,
at the very end, just killed Eli.
One thing we didn't pick up on while we were playing the game is on the last one, when you're going through the bunker part of it, the people don't disappear. They're just dead.
They just
because
die.
obviously
They
you're
don't
actually
move.
killing them.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's there's a lot of cool stuff. John, I think, was the only one that didn't kill anybody, right? Because the marshal died here, Eli died here.
No, I don't think he did.
Because you have Jerome who didn't die. You had the lady that didn't die. Yeah, I don't think he killed anyone that was important.
Just a loser.
Well, John's ugly anyway, so yeah.
He's a loser.
I ain't talking about this guy. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
But no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, like I just said, I'm trying to save most of the stuff for the review, and we'll get to that. But like, it's just the characters were so much more interesting. They had clearly a lot more backstory. Like John, I didn't pick up on this, but apparently he was talking in the third cutscene. He tells you how he was basically abused as a child, and that's kind of why he's so sadistic about everything. Jacob was a war veteran. He's brought home stuff with PTSD from that. Faith is like someone that was like abused. Well, she was abused. She was abused, manipulated by all the people she thought that loved her, and she started going into drugs, and she even became suicidal at one point. Like, her story is crazy.
Yeah, and then I think Joseph just came in at like her most vulnerable position.
Yeah, most vulnerable position.
Manipulated and took advantage.
Manipulated her into believing he was on her side, basically. And to an extent, he was, but he was also doing it the completely wrong way. You don't give someone drugs to overcome a drug addiction. That's not how that works.
No.
So yeah, all their stories, and then Joseph, like you get some backstory on him. I actually think most of his backstory might actually be in the next game, especially if we're playing as Rick again, and we're gonna be in the bunker for some of the game maybe, or at least the beginning, I would say. But because the only story you get is that he has a wife that died in a car accident, and the daughter of which he killed, which was very strange. I'm not sure I fully understand what that was all about.
That was his test that God gave,
that he claims, yeah, but I still think there's something missing from that. But anyway, so that's really all you get on him. But he made up for it by like just the cutscenes you gave, because Pagan just kind of talked. Once you killed off the time, he kind of just talked to you. He came over the radio. Was like, "Hey, I noticed you did that. Can you not do that again?" And like that kind of stuff. Where he had like these monologues about like what the people were. And that kind of like that was very interesting.
Yeah, he broke through out of like just being like a cult leader villain and like being like that was his brother that you just killed.
Yeah, well, and Jacob was like he fought the government, he fought his family, but he mostly fought himself. Like that line was powerful. I already forgot what he said about Faith. It was all about like it's about how she had helped people, like how he's perceiving that she was helping people, and that now that she's gone, that the ordinary people need to continue their legacy and that kind of thing.
Because now they're losing, because they were losing.
They're losing faith, both literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
John was the most powerful one of all to me because, and this applies to a lot of relationships in real life. He said, John wasn't perfect. Sometimes he wasn't even good, but he was still my brother. And I think that's an excellent line that he could have said there. And I think he said another thing there too, but I also forgot what that was. So it must not have been that important. But that line was really powerful. So he just says all these interesting things. And by the way, I did find out that the scene where you kill all three of them, like the scene you get at the end there, that was like one take.
That was the first take?
That was the first take. The snot was real. I thought it was CGI. It was not. That snot was real.
That's real.
Apparently the guy, Burke Burke I think is his last name, and I forgot his first name. But like he apparently like went full into the role. Like I read a comment that he made saying that he goes into dark places when he goes for like roles like this, which makes sense. But he destroyed the role for this guy. Like Joseph Seed, I don't know if there's gonna be a villain that's gonna beat him. Honestly, I don't know who the villain is of. Maybe it is Joseph. Maybe he's still the villain of the next one. I don't know. There's two girls on the next one though, so I don't think it is gonna be him. And then on 6, it's the 6 guy is gonna be funny, I bet, because he made ads coming at YouTubers being like, "You can't take me down," like he was gonna be funny, I bet. But Joseph as an actual serious villain, I don't think is gonna be able to beat. I mean, maybe 3 because 3 apparently is praised as the best one, but I'll be very interested to see because Joseph to me is like an actual human. He's an actual villain.
Human.
Yeah.
He's not some cartoony, over-exaggerated villain. He's real.
Yeah, and I looked up too that because just as I thought, all of the 4 main characters are all played by somebody. So like I said, I think it's George Burke. Is that his name? I don't want to say it wrong. Just look up Joseph Seed character, and maybe you'll find it. I know this one's Janessa Grant because I looked up her. John was, I don't remember his exact name. It wasn't John, obviously. But yeah, you get the idea. They're all played by somebody. They voice act their own character and they motion for their own character. So it's like Thanos, how they had to put like these little, I don't know, animation.
Yeah, it's put like the motion.
It's the motion tracking on their face. So they take their own face and they just modify it and post a little bit, which adds a human element to it, because when you kill these people, you're killing not obviously the real people, but you're killing a representation of them.
Yeah,
which
it kind of goes into that like weird. I don't want to say it's kind of like Uncanny Valley, because it's like maybe not.
I wouldn't say that, but no, because Uncanny Valley would be like they're so hideous there you can't like they're clearly not real. Like that's you're thinking of the opposite.
Polar Express, where it's like it's not real, but it's just enough to where it makes it.
Again, also not a very good parallel. But anyway, ignore him. Sure. But either way, they're played by real people and they're voiced acted by real people. So when you are killing them, there is a thing in the back of your mind that's like, these are real people that we're killing. Obviously, you're not. That you know that you're not. You're in a video game and that kind of thing. But yeah, this game is great. If we ever do like a nostalgia week, because obviously people have been doing that recently. I don't know if we'll be doing that, but actually it would be the 3-year special at this point, which is not close at all, but like it would be a 3-year special, I think, right?
Yeah, in May.
In May, so
it's
I guess
4 months.
I guess that is kind of close. Time flies, man.
4 months.
So if we do a 3-year special, this game's absolutely being featured in it 100%. I don't know what we'll do. Probably just run around. Maybe we'll do some side missions we never did.
Maybe we can play. Maybe not.
Probably not. No.
We always do bad.
Unless I think there is a co-op, but I think only one person can be there. We don't do 2-player games because then the third person's just sitting out.
Yeah. Dang it! I wanted to shoot John's ugly face.
You literally cannot. He's in a plane. Anyway,
jump out
literally, Faith is the only one you get to shoot because Jacob you just
blow up.
Yeah, I actually when I killed him, I didn't blow him up. I set him on fire. Because why not?
Throw Molotovs.
No, well I had the 36 Molotovs, not all 36 of them, but I had like 20. I just literally just like
threw him up in the bottle.
It was a bottle rain, and he got hit by it.
Well, no, John got out of the plane, then you shot him for like a millisecond, then he died.
No, you didn't. You didn't.
I swore.
No, you didn't.
Whatever.
Either way, yeah, I'm very excited for New Dawn. We'll see about next week. I think I have other things planned next week, so I might actually start the week after that. Yeah. But this game's great, man. This game's really good. Like I said, trumps 4. I mean, 4 is still, and that's the thing is 4 is still a good game, and this game trumped it. Like that's crazy. So yeah, this is just our opinion. Obviously, once we do a full review, we'll actually go in depth of like how good the gameplay was, how good the music was, how good the story and characters were, like that kind of thing. That video is gonna be more than 15 minutes. I can guarantee you that. Yeah, that's gonna do it for Far Cry 5 up until like we do a celebration thing where we come back to it, and obviously we're gonna come back for the DLC at some point. I know we're not doing it now because it's not related to the story at all. Like you have a Mars one, I can guarantee is not. You have Vietnam, which I guarantee is not going to be. And Zombie, I think. There's 3. And 4 had Valley of the Yetis, which I also guarantee is not related. So we're going to come back to those. I think those are just like cool expansion things. So yeah, the next one we're going to do is New Dawn. So join us for that. If it's not next week, it'll be the week after that. Yeah, so on the left, check out the full Far Cry 5 playlist. It will be the last video in that playlist, so go check that out. Had all of we can see where we played the actual game, like the main story, and just skipping everything, obviously. So go check that out. And then on the right, check out Far Cry 4. I know we've been dissing on it, sort of, but it still was a good game at the end of the day. It just wasn't as powerful as this game was. But it still was a good game. Pagan's still noteworthy to go watch. And also, Path to Glory takes place in Far Cry 4, so, you know, there's that too. I think that was the only thing I was missing from this game was like you can't do that. I mean, you might be able to, but I don't have the PS4 thing that I'm not paying $100 a year for. Screw that. Or not. No, it's $100 a month, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not paying for that.
That's crazy.
I'm paying. What are you Disney Plus? No, I'm just kidding.
It'd be 200 if that was.
But either way, so like I think that's the only thing missing. But anyway. So yeah, go check out Far Cry 4. It's really cool. And if you like the content you're seeing, please consider subscribing. We're trying to finish episodes as we can, except for Luigi, because Luigi was Luigi and no one likes him. I've treated Luigi to anything. It'd be not only this tree over here, but it'd be the nuked version of the tree.
The nuke.
The nuked
Nah,
version.
he'd be the only tree that would survive.
No, he'd be the nuked tree.
He'd be the first tree that
Right,
dies.
it'd be the first
No.
tree that actually it's the tree that gets that the
That the
nuke impacts.
directly went.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was the one to be like,
Exactly.
oh, what's that falling? Is that
Exact-
shooting star? Make
Exactly.
a wish, honey.
Exactly. So yeah, he's ugly too. So of course you're gonna
Yeah.
want to.
Hold on.
But also check out my podcast and me and my friends have. It's called The Provokers. You can check us on literally any type of streaming platform that exists that has podcasts on it. Just type in The Provokers and you'll see us. Also check out the merch store. We have a bunch of merch stuff. So we have a lot of ARG stuff like posters, puzzles, stuff like that, desk mats. We also have shirts. So we have the Hatchet from Zachary. If you have to blame Zachary for something that's happened in your life, then go ahead and do it. You know, you would drop the remote into your salad bowl. Hatchet from Zachary.
You overcooked your egg salad sandwich, or whatever those friggin' people eat. Hashtag blame Zachary.
What?
I don't know. You know what he's talking about.
I want an egg salad sandwich now.
No.
This stuff's good.
I didn't ask. But yeah, we have a lot of that stuff. We have Isabel has a couple shirts. I have a couple shirts like same elevation and all that jazz. So go check it out. But with that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.